Hello and welcome to FTTR. I am Ewan McQuaid, and today I want to talk about tournaments. I want to talk about tournaments in pro wrestling. Now, specifically, I want to focus on the main roster and why the main roster doesn't do tournaments. Now, this just seems like a really weird decision. I get that there's the whole thing about apparently Vince McMahon doesn't like tournaments, but at the end of the day, Raw is terrible. It is really bad. And I think just, adding the work rate into Raw through a tournament would really help the product. Now you look at the various other promotions that are doing tournaments. You've obviously got New Japan Pro Wrestling with the G1 Cup, G1 tournament, which is, probably the biggest tournament in wrestling. You've got AEW putting on sort of eliminator tournaments. You've got just so many. You've got the Gauntlet in Ring of Honor, kind of a tournament. The Gauntlet for the Pure Championship. But why don't WWE capitalise on this momentum? NXT does, of course. We've got the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which is, an incredible tournament. It's a really good tournament. But the main roster is crying out for a tournament for one of the top tier championships. Now, you look at, say, you could even have an 8-man, you could have a 16-man tournament with the amount of talent you've got on Raw. You've got 3 goddamn hours. You can easily put on a tournament. You could have the likes of Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Randy Orton, hell, slap the Fiend in there, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley being the top dog who everyone's working their way up to get to. And I think the post-WrestleMania season really calls out for a tournament because you blow off the feud. For me personally, I think Drew doesn't need a rematch against Bobby Lashley. He lost at the end of the day. He lost, and I don't think he's justified in having a rematch even if Braun Strowman's in there. So this slump is perfect time for a tournament. And WWE, I felt like last time they tried a tournament, they made a mockery of it. The Baron Corbin winning King of the Ring was just dire. It was really bad, and I just want a tournament in WWE that I can enjoy, that I can really sink my teeth into. And why am I talking about this? It is because I'm just really excited for Mortal Kombat at the moment, which of course has the Mortal Kombat tournament, and I want just like the level of depth and intricacy and lore that has placed into a WWE tournament. I always play tournament on the games because you just get such interesting matchups. It doesn't matter if they lose, if they put on a good performance, that gets them over. That is basically the fundamentals of a tournament, is that even if they lose, you can put someone over in defeat. Now, pitching this tournament, like I said, I would have it right now. I would have it from start, give it a cool name, even though it seems like the main roster is incapable of giving things cool names. WrestleMania's Backlash. But yeah, start it after WrestleMania and have work its way up to Backlash, where the finals either take place or the title match takes place. It's not hard, really, when you think about it. It's not hard for WWE to put this tournament together. It could even be, a tag tournament. It could be a women's tournament. It could be a goddamn cruiserweight tournament. Bring back the Cruiserweight Classic. But the main roster is screaming out for a tournament, not just to fill time, but to really help some of the guys on TV, because they are being ruined. Our favourite stars are being ruined because of their treatment, and I think a tournament could possibly fix that, to be honest. This is my pitch. I'm screaming out for a tournament on main roster WWE programming. I don't think it's justified on SmackDown. SmackDown are doing some really good stuff, but Raw is screaming out for a tournament right now. Anything to just get away from the monotonous booking that they are putting on Drew McIntyre, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley. I think it's the perfect idea. Maybe that's just me being egotistical and saying that I've got a brilliant idea, but it's not even a brilliant idea, it's just fundamentals at the end of the day. Like, why can't we get that? Why can't we get a tournament? What does Vince McMahon hate so much about tournaments that he will not put one on unless it's a joke, like the King of the Ring was? King of the Ring is such a solid idea that has been driven into the ground. feel like I've said my piece. I feel like you understand where I'm coming from. Let me know down in the comments if you also want a tournament on Monday Night Raw. If you think it was spicing up the product. Spicing? Spice. That's the word. Spice up the product. Let me know down in the comments and I'll try and reply to every single one of them. Thank you all ever so much and have a nice day.